शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करभावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानामेकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं
कंसचाणूरमर्दनं
देवकी
देवकी
परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्जसम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्रजं வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஹரஹரோஹரா. லோகவீரியம் மகாபூஜ்யம் சர்வரக்ஷாகரம் விபும் பார்வதீஹிருதயானந்தம் சாஸ்தாரம் பிரணமாம்யகம். சுவாமியே சரணமையப்பா. வாகர்த்தாவிவ சம்பிருக்தௌ வாகர்த்த பிரதிபத்தயே जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। श्रीपार्वती परमेश्वराभ्यां नमः। कोमलं पूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्णगोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्णगोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचरगुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरणभ्यर्थितानपि आर्तान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी ध्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्त्यव्रजोऽह्यं। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशीविभूषितकरात् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने. കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടുമീറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഏതീനു മഞ്ഞനെ കുമ്പിടേണ്ടാത്തോരു രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കെന്നായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so we'll do the review of 11 and 12 today, right? So maybe Deepa, can you do one? And Priya, Anand, can you do one?
Yeah. Can I start?
Yeah. Go ahead, Priya.
Okay. प्रेमेण सर्गे परिवर्तमाने कदापि दिव्यासनकादयस्ते भवद्विलोकाय विकुण्ठलोकं प्रदेतिरे मारुतमत्तिरेश
मन्दिरेश
मन्दिरेश मनेज्ञ सर्वाश्रेयस काननातैः अनेकवापि मणिमन्दिरैष्य च अनुपवं तं पवदो निकेतं मुनीश्वरा प्राकृत कश्यः
அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லைன், அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வேர்ட் மட்டும், மனோஜ்ஞ நைஸ்ரேயச கானனாத்யைஹி.
मनोवाद
மனோஜ்ஞ நைஸ்ரேயச
मनोज्ञ नैश्रेयस
கானனாத்யைஹி.
काननात्यैः
யா, correct.
भवतिरुष्ण भवतं विविशन् तवास्तौ जयस्तान् विजयो प्रपृताम् तेषां च सिद्धे पदमापकोपः सर्वं सर्वं पवत्रो न प्रवत्नो न वैव भुवन्
பிரேரன், அந்த லாஸ்ட் வேர்ட், பிரேரண யைவ.
प्रेरणयैव भूमन् वैकुण्ठलोकानुसित प्रचेष्टौ कष्टेन युवां दैत्यगतिं भजेतम् इति परस्तौ भवतर्षितौ तौ हरिस्तुरिं नेमस्तान्
நேமதுஸ்தான்.
तदेतदाज्ञाय भवान् वाप्तः सहैव लक्ष्म्या परिरम्भुजाक्ष ककेश्वरां सार्पित चारुपहुः आनन्दयं तान् अभिराममूर्त्या प्रसाद्य किरीक्षित्
गीर्भिस् गीर्भिस्
कीर्तिस् स्तुवतो मुनीन्द्रान् अनन्यनादावत पार्श्वस्तौ तौ सर्वं योकेन भवैस्त्रीभिर्माम् उपेतम् इत्यास्त कृपं न्यकातिः
அந்த தேர்ட் லைன் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வேர்ட் சம்ரம்ப யோகேன.
संरम्भयोगेन भवैस्त्रीभिर्माम्
Yeah.
उपेतम् इत्यात् कृपं त्याकातिः त्वदीयप्रत्यावत कश्यपात्सौ
அங்க காஷ்யபாத்தோ
सुरारिविरावती तौ तिदौ त्वौ सन्त्या समुत्पादत पादनकष्टश्रेष्ठौ यमौ च लोकस्य विवान्यौ हिरण्यपूर्वाः कशिपुष्किलेखः परो हिरण्याक्ष इति प्रतीतः उपौ भवन्नाथम् अशेषलोकां रुषान्यवृत्तां निजवासतान्तौ तयोर्हिरण्याक्ष महासुरेन्द्रो रणौ तावत् अनवाप्त वैरी भवत्परीयां श्यामं
Like
ससिसे
kshmam, sorry, and the word kshmam, bhavat priyam kshmam.
भवत्प्रियां श्मां सलिले निजम्य चरार कर्वात् विनतन् कदावान् तदोजलोत्सात् शत्रुषं भवन्तं निशम्बप्राम कवेशयं त्वं कषेयं त्वं भक्तै कृतस्या स कृपाति त्वं
Kripanidhe tvam.
कृपानिधे त्वं निरुत्ति रोकान् मरुताल एष
And the first line, first word, tato. Okay, I think you said tate or
ततो
something. Tato
जलो.
jalesha. Yeah. Okay.
Rajesh ji, one question.
Yeah.
Sixth shloka. Samrambha yogena bhavaitri, is that?
Sorry, repeat. Bhavais tribhirmam.
Bhavai,
Bhavais.
bhavaistri. Okay.
Yeah, is sound.
Okay.
स्वयंभुवो मनुरतो जनसर्गशीलो दृष्ट्वा महिम असमये सलीले निमग्नाम् स्टारमापशरणं भवदङ्घ्रिसेवा तुष्टाशयं मुनिजनैः सह सत्यलोके.
And the first word, Deepa, swayam bhuvo.
स्वायंभुवो
Yeah.
मनुरतो कष्टं प्रजाः सृजति मय्यवनी निमग्ना स्थानं सरोजभव कल्पय तत्प्रजानाम् इत्येवमेष कथितो मनुना स्वयंभूः अम्भोरुहाक्षतव पादयुगं व्यचिन्तीत्.
First line, prajaha, you said, right? It's a is to join. Prajas srijati.
हा हा विभो जलमहं न्यपिबं पुरस्तात् अद्यापि मज्जति मही किमहं करोमि इत्थं त्वद्दिङ्ग्रयुगलं शरणं यतोऽस्य नासापुटात् समभव शिशुकोलरूपी. अङ्गुष्टमात्रवपुरत् पतितः पुरस्तात् भूयोत्कुम्भिसदृशः समजृम्भतास्त्वम् अभ्रे तदा विदमुदीक्ष्य भवन्तमुच्चैः विस्मेरतां विविधगातसहस्सूनुभिः स्वैः.
And the two places, second line and fourth line, where the visarga is joins there. Kumbhi sadrishas and then sunu bhiswaihi.
So wherever there is a visarga, should we just add a sa?
No, it
or
depends on what letter is coming later. Like first line, it was
Okay.
F, right? Purastat. Like
Yeah.
Vapurut patitaf purastat. So that's why I always explicitly say what to add, right? So some places it's F, some places it's ish, some places it's is. So here, second and fourth line, it's is because sa is coming later.
Okay. को को स्वावचिन्तय महिमा किटिरुतितो मे नासापुटात् किमु भवेदजित्सय माया इत्थं विचिन्तयति धातरि शैलमात्रः सधो भवन् किल जगज्जृतघोरघोरम् तं ते जनसत्पस्तताः.
Janas, no, two words. Janas tapastaha.
जनस्तपस्ताः सत्यस्थिताश्च मुनयो नुनुबुभर्वन्तम् तत्सत्रोत्रः शूर्लमनाफ परिणद्भूयः तोयाशयं विपुलमूर्तिरवतारवस्त्वम्.
The third line again, Harshula Manaf, F sound. Manaf Parinadya
मनाफ
Bhuyah.
परिणद्य भूयः ऊर्ध्वप्रसारि परिधूम्र विधूतरोमा प्रोक्षिप्तवाल वालदिरवाङ्गमुखघोरघोणः तूर्णप्रदीर्णजलदः परिधूर्णदक्षिणा स्तोतृणमुनीन शिशिरयन्नवते ऋतत्वम् अन्तर्जलं तदनु सङ्कुलनक्रचक्रं भ्राम्यतिमिङ्गिलङ्कुलं कलुषोर्मिमिर्मालम् आविश्य भीषणरवेन रसातलसतान् आकम्पयन् वसुमतिमगवेशयस्त्वम् दृष्ट्वात् दैयहतकेन
Daitya Hataken.
दैत्यहतकेन रसातलान्ते संवेशितां झटिति कूटकिटिविर्भो त्वम् आपातुकान् विगगण्य सुरारिकेटान् दृष्टाङ्गकुरेण वसुधा मदधाससलीलम्.
The third line and fourth line, small correction. Apatukan Aviganaya.
आपातुकान् विगगणय्य
No, you're saying Vigaganaya. It's Viganaya.
विगणय्य.
Yeah. And then fourth line, first one, Damstrang Kurena.
दंष्ट्रां कुरेण वसुधा मददाससलीलम् अभ्युद्धरन्तधरां दशनाग्रलग्न कुराङ्कित इवादिकपीवरात्मा उद्वत्धोरसलील आजलदे रुदञ्चन् क्रीडावराह वपुरीश्वर पाहि रोगात्.
Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. All right, so we'll continue with Dasakam 13. Hema, you can be a student, and Ravi, you can be a student. So 13 is Hiranyaksha Vadha Varnanam. So slaying of Hiranyaksha. So this is like, this follows the four-liner tune, although it is not long like the four-liners, but it kind of follows that tune. Okay, stanza 1. Hiranyaksham tavad varada bhavadanveshana param charantam samvarte payasi nijajangha parimite bhavad bhakto gatva kapatapatudhir narada munihi shanai ruche nandan danujamapi nindam stava balam. So in the last Dashakam, we saw the, Varaha Avatara Varnanam, right? So the Lord taking the form of Varaha, and it's going to a little bit continue. And then we saw towards the end how Hiranyaksha has been roaming around with all his strength, trying to find a valid person because he had defeated everybody. And then he goes to the Varuna Loka, he goes there and goes and tries to say, I need somebody to fight with, right? And Varuna says, I'm not the right person, but there's a person who's stronger than you, Narayana. You go looking after him. And I was beginning to say how he kind of was in a single-minded focus of trying to find that Narayana, right? So whether you are following a bhakti margam of saying, I want to go meet that Lord, and then you go, you will get a guru who will take you to that margam. Similarly, Hiranyaksha is also going in that path. So he also needs a guru who's going to take him to Bhagavan, right? And there's no other better guru than Narada himself. So when Hiranyaksha is roaming around trying to find out where is this Narayana that Varuna is looking, telling me that I have to go fight with. So Narada comes in there and Narada says, I know who you're looking for, that person who are looking for, and he points to where Bhagavan is, right? So Narada essentially means the one who's going to get you close to Bhagavan. That's literally what his name is. And everywhere he's going to come. We're going to see in Prahlada Charitram, we're going to see in Dhruva Charitram, we're going to see in all of these places where Narada is going to come and guide the appropriate devotees to where Bhagavan is, which is what is happening here. So Narada is coming and saying, that you go meet this person, and then and then he speaks to him very calmly, right? And if you go fight with a person like Hiranyaksha, he's going to fight with you. So Narada says, yeah, you are very strong, and he is the right person for you to go battle with, so you can go look for him, right? Hiranyaksham tavad varada, comma, bhavadanveshanaparam, comma, charantam samvarte payasi, comma, nija jangha parimite, bhavat bhakto gatva, comma, kapata patudhir narada munihi, comma, shanai ruche nandan danujamapi, comma, nindam stava balam. Hiranyaksham tavat varada bhavadanveshanaparam charantam samvarte payasi nijajanga parimite bhavat bhakto gatva kapatapatudhir narada munihi shanai ruche nandan danujamapi nindam stava balam.
हिरण्याक्षं तावद्वरद भवदन्वेषणापरं चरन्तं सान्वत्ते पयसि जङ्गापरिमिते भवद्भक्तो गत्वा कपटपटुधीर्नारदमुनिः शनैरुचे नन्दन् दनुजमपि निन्दं स्तव बलम् हिरण्याक्षं तावद्वरद भवदन्वेषणापरं चरन्तं सान्वर्ते पयसि निज जङ्गपरिमिते भवद्भक्तो गत्वा कपटपटुधीर्नारदमुनिः शनैरुचे नन्दन् दनुजमपि निन्दं स्तव बलम्
हिरण्याक्षं दावद्वरद भवदन्वेषणपरं चरन्तं सांवर्ते पयसि निजजङ्गापरिमिते भवद्भक्तो गत्वा कपटपटुधीर्नारदमुनिः शनैरुचे नन्दन् तनुजमपि निन्दं स्तव बलम् हिरण्याक्षं दावद्वरद भवदन्वेषणपरं चरन्तं सांवर्ते पयसि निजजङ्गापरिमिते भवद्भक्तो गत्वा कपटपटुधीर्नारदमुनिः शनैरुचे नन्दन् तनुजमपि निन्दं स्तव बलम्.
Answer 2. Samhayafi Vishnurharati Bhavadiyam Vasumatim Prabho Kashtam Kashtam Kimidamiti Tena Bigaditaha Nadhan Kwasau Kwasavitim Samhunina Darshita Patho Bhavantam Samprapate Dharani Dharamudhyantamudakat. Anytime you want to trigger somebody, right? You want to make somebody really angry, you can just, by words, you can trigger them, which is what Narada is saying. Narada is saying, Hiranyaksha, you have conquered all the worlds. You've taken, the top, the Devalokam, you've taken the Swargalokam, you've conquered the bottom worlds anyways. He says, but the Bhulokam you still haven't conquered because it's very pitiful, because that Bhulokam which is not there, which this Hiranyaksha is now going to be restoring, he's taking it away from you. He says, very unfortunate. He says, you are the one who should be ruling over it, but somehow this Bhagavan is taking it over. So it's very pitiful, right, that you are not able to own all the 3 worlds or all the 14 worlds there. So with that, he triggers, with Hiranyaksha. So he goes. So when Hiranyaksha is going, like, that's what he talks in a lot of places about how blessed he is, right? Because none of us have seen the Varaha Avataram. There are very few people who got to see Varaha Avataram. One was Brahma himself. The second person who gets to see is Hiranyaksha. So Hiranyaksha is going there. That's when the Varaha Avataram is happening, where Lord Varaha is beginning to restore Earth in its orbit, right? And that's going to come a little later, but that Avataram is happening at the tail end of it. Hiranyaksha is coming face to face. Sa Mayavi Vishnur Harati, comma, Bhavadiyam Vasumatim, comma, Vasumati here refers to Earth, comma, Prabho Kashtam Kashtam, comma, Kimidamiti Tenabhigaditah Nadan Kwasau Kwasaviti, comma, Samunina Darshita Patho, comma, Bhavantam Samprapat. So, for those who are following Sanskrit, there's a double da there coming, the second da and the third da. So, the second da which is there, that becomes it. So, Bhavantam Samprapat, comma. Then the third da will continue. Dharani Dharam Udhyantam Udakat. If you want to break it, Dharani Dharam Udhyantam Udakat. So this Kwaso means very easy. This Kwaso is going to come in two places. One you're seeing in Hiranyaksha Vadam 13. Then in the end of the 24th Dashakam, when Hiranyakashipu is looking for Bhagavan, he'll also ask the same question. Where is that person? Right? So he's very desperately trying to go and locate, where Bhagavan is. Samahyavi Vishnurharati Bhavadiyam Vasumhatim Prabho Kashtam Kashtam Kimidamiti Tena Bhigaditah Nadan Kwasau Kwasaviti Samunina Darshita Patho Bhavantam Samprapate Dharani Dharam Udhyantam Udakat.
Rajesh, just one question. Dharani Dhara Mudyanna Udyanna.
And the right way to break it is to make it a im and a u. So dharani dharam udhyantam udakat.
Thank you.
ರಾಜೇಶ್ ಕ್ವಾಸಾವತಿಹಿ ಅಂಗ ವಿಸರ್ಗವ
Visarga
ಇಲ್ಲ
illa
ಇಲ್ಲ
illa. No
ಓಕೆ
visarga there. Kwaso kwasaviti.
ವಿತಿ
Yeah.
And the third line, the last word, Darshita Pato, is it?
Yeah. In case you have pataha, just change it to pato.
Okay, thank you.
समायावी विष्णुर्हरति भवदीयां वसुमतीं प्रभो कष्टं कष्टं किमिदमिति तेनाभिगदितः नदं क्वासौ क्वासाविति स मुनिना दर्शितपथो भवन्तं सम्प्रापत् धरणि भवन्तं सम्प्रापत् धरणीधरम् उद्यान्तमुदकात् समायावी विष्णुर्हरति भवदीयां वसुमतीं प्रभो कष्टं कष्टं किमिदमिति तेनाभिगदिताः गदितः नदं क्वासौ क्वासाविति च मुनिना दर्शितपथो भवन्तं सम्प्राप्त धरणीधरम् उद्यन्तमुदकात्
समायावि विष्णुर्हरति भवतीयां वसुमतीं प्रभो कष्टं कष्टं किमिदमिति तेनाभिकरितः नदन् क्वासौ क्वासाविति समुनिना दर्शितपतो भवन्तं सम्प्राप्तु तरणिधरम् बुद्ध्यन्तमुदकात्.
Now we in the fourth line, first part. Bhavantam samprapat.
Samprapat. Okay, got it. समायावि विष्णुर्हरति भवतीयां वसुमतीं प्रभो कष्टं कष्टं किमिदमिति तेनाभिकरितः नदन् क्वासौ क्वासाविति समुनिना दर्शितपतो भवन्तं सम्प्रापत् तरणिधरम् उद्यन्तमुदकात्
संसत्रि अहो आर्हण्योऽयं मृग इति हसन्तं बहुतरैः धुरुक्तैर्विद्यन्तं दितिसुतमवज्ञाय भगवन् महीं दृष्ट्वा दंष्ट्राशिरसि चकितां स्वेन महसा पयोधावाधाय प्रसभमुदयुङ्क्ता मृदविधौ. So he comes looking for somebody to fight with, and then he sees that the opponent is not doesn't look that strong, right? He says this like it seems like a Aranyoyam Mrigati. He says just like some animal which has come from the forest. He says, I'm looking for this Narayana who's supposed to be stronger than me according to Varuna and Narada, but then I'm coming and then I'm having to fight with a wild boar. He says this is not even an equal match, right? So he's just coming, he just starts ridiculing, right? Saying that, you are like an animal, you are like a forest animal. What are you doing here? And all kinds of abuses and everything Hiranyaksha is throwing. But the most important thing, he is coming face to face with Varaha, right? And he's getting to interact, and then he hurls all these abuses, but Bhagwan doesn't do anything. The first thing to do is, like I said, here, Varaha Avataram had two purposes. One is to get rid of Hiranyaksha. Second is to, because there was no earth for Swayambhuva Manu to create. So the main thing was to restore earth in its orbit so Swayambhuva Manu can go create in there. So that's the first step. So Bhagwan first takes care of that by making sure that the earth is situated in the right orbit so Swayambhuva Manu can take care. So he first does it and then he goes to interact with Hiranyaksha. अहो आरण्योऽयं मृग इति comma हसन्तं बहुतरैः, put a visarga on comma there, बहुतरैः. Next line the ir will go away. Duruktair vidyantam comma ditisutam avajnaya bhagavan. I'm just breaking at that ma there. Ditisutam. Ditisutam means son of Diti, which is Hiranyaksha. Ditisutam avajnaya bhagavan mahim drishtva damshtrashirasi chakitam swena mahasa, then put a plus, payodhavadhaya, and then put a comma. So the entire third line is together. Then payodhavadhaya prasabham, again I'm breaking that mu there, prasabham udayuntha mridavidhau. अहो आर्हण्योऽयं मृग इति हसन्तं बहुतरैः दुरुक्तैर्विद्यन्तं दितिसुतमवज्ञाय भगवन् महीं दृष्ट्वा दंष्ट्राशिरसि चकितां स्वेन महसा पयोधावाधाय प्रसभमुदयुङ्क्ता मृदविधौ.
अहो अहो आरण्योऽयं मृग इति हसन्तं बहुतरैः दुरुक्तैर्विद्यन्तं दितिसुतमवज्ञाय वा
दितिसुतम् अवज्ञाय
दितिसुतम् अवज्ञाय भगवन् महीं दृष्ट्वा दंष्ट्राशिरसि चकितां स्वेन महसा पयोदावादाय प्रसभमुदयुङ्क्ता मृदविधौ. अहो आरण्योऽयं मृग इति हसन्तं बहुतरैः दुरुक्तैर्विद्यन्तं दितिसुतम् आवज्ञाय भगवन् महीं दृष्ट्वा दंष्ट्राशिरसि चकितां स्वेन महसा पयोदावादाय प्रसभमुदयुङ्क्ता मृदविधौ.
Him on the first line after mriga iti there is a comma there. Okay.
अहो आरण्योऽयं मृग इति हसन्तं बहुधरैः दुरुक्तैर्विद्यन्तं तिदसुदम् अवज्ञानभगवन् महीं दृष्ट्वा दंष्ट्राशिरसि सहितां स्वेन महसा भयोदावादाय प्रसभम् उद्यङ्क्ता मृदविदौ. अहो आरण्योऽयं मृग इति हसन्तं बहुधरैः दुरुक्तैर्विद्यन्तं तिदसुदम् अवज्ञानभगवन्
Ravi, and sorry, the Diti Sutam,
तितिसुतं
Di, Da, Di,
oh
Diti Sutam Avajnaya.
दितिसुतम् अवज्ञाय भगवन् महीं दृष्ट्वा दंष्ट्रा शिरसि सहितां स्वेन महसा भयतोदावादय प्रसभम् उद्यङ्कदा मृदविदौ
Last word, Prasabham, Uda
प्रसभम्
Yungtha.
ओ उदयुङ्कदा प्रसभम् उदयुङ्कदा मृदविदौ
Stanza 4. Gad, sorry, question. गधा पान्हौ दैत्ये त्वमपि हि गृहीतोन्नतगधो नियुद्धेन क्रीडन् घटघटरवोद्घुष्टवियता रणालोकौत्सुक्यान्मिलति सुरसङ्गे द्रुतममुं निरुन्द्याः सन्ध्यातः प्रथममिति धात्रा जगदिशे. So now once the Earth is restored in its orbit, now Hiranyaksha and Varaha, there's a battle that starts. Now they say Gada. Now the Gada doesn't mean the regular Gada, because somebody like Hiranyaksha who's so powerful, who has taken over all the worlds, he's not going to fight with a simple Gada, right? But it's a strong weapon he has, right? Which is able to fight with Varaha. So something. So they both start fighting. And this fight just keeps on going, right? The fight doesn't end. And we see a lot of times, even in Krishna Avataram also, a lot of the things, Bhagavan just stretches it for the sake of play. Because if he wants, Hiranyaksha wouldn't even exist, right? Just by his thought, Hiranyaksha would die. But there's a leelay. So they both keep fighting for a really long time. So at that time, Brahma is coming and then saying, no, Lord, don't forget, what Hiranyaksha has done. He has taken over all these worlds. And then, we are just prolonging this thing unnecessarily. And then he talks about, see, now, while we also have, like in Earth, we have like daylight and sun, at twilight, and the sun and the sunset is happening. Even in a cosmic level, there are periods where the thamogunam and the rajogunam goes up, right? Like we saw in Diti's case, right? When Diti was talking to Kashyapa, in the evening she came and said, I want to get pregnant, right? And Kashyapa said, this is not the right time, because there are certain times, because there is a tamasic energy is very high. So Brahma is coming and saying, even at a cosmic level, he says this tamasic energy is going to be going very high right now. So Hiranyaksha is going to get very powerful. So he says, do not prolong this fight and please get rid of him very soon, because he's caused all these atrocities everywhere. गदापाणौ दैत्ये त्वमपि हि गृहीतोन्नतगदो, cannot break that word, गृहीतोन्नतगदो, नियुद्धेन क्रीडन्, घटघटरवोद्गुष्टवियता Ranalokautsukyaan cannot break that word either. So Ranalokautsukyaan Surasange Drutamamum, and then put plus, Nirundhyaha, and then a comma. So the third line is continuous, comma after Nirundhyaha. Sandhyataha, put a F to join.
Rajesh ji,
Rajesh ji,
we lost the
you
connection.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I back now or?
Yeah.
You are back now. You can
Okay.
start.
Second line
Okay,
new
no worries. I'm sitting in a hotel here. So, Niyuddhena Kreedan, Ghataravod Gushta Viyata Rana Lokautsukyan Milati. So one long word, cannot break that word. Rana Lokautsukyan Milati. Surasange Drutamamum, and then put a plus, Nirundhyaha, and then a comma. So the whole of third line is together, and then comma after Nirundhyaha. Sandhyataha, put a F to join, Sandhyataf, Pratamamiti, Dhatra Jagadishe. Gadha Panhau Daitye, Twamapi hi Grihitonnata Gado, Niyuddhena Kreedan, Ghata Ghatarabodghushta Ranalokautsukyaan Milati Surasange Drutamamum Nirundhyaha Sandhyataf Pratamamiti Dhatra Jagadishe.
Sorry, Rajesh, just one question. Third line full varum sandhyat varaikum சேர்ந்து
இல்ல
வருமா?
nirundhyaha end வரை. After
Nirundhyaha.
nirundhyaha and then a comma. Yeah.
गदा पाणौ दैत्ये त्वमपि हि गृहीतोन्नतगधो नियुद्धेन क्रीडन् घटघटरवो गुष्ठावियता लोकौत्सुक्यान्मिलति सुरसङ्गे द्रुतममुन् निरुन्ध्या सन्ध्यात प्रथममिति धात्र जगदिशे.
Hemant, like the third line continuous and then nirundhyaha together. So Ranha lokau tsukyan milati surasange drutamamum nirundhyaha.
गदा पाणौ दैत्ये त्वमपि हि गृहीतो नतगदो नियुद्धेन क्रीडन् घटघटरवोद्गुष्टवियता रणालोकौत्सुक्यान्मिलति सुरसङ्गे द्रुतममुं निरुन्ध्यः right, or
Nirundhyaha.
निरुन्ध्याः सन्ध्यात प्रथममिति धात्रा जगदिशे.
And the first line, after daitye, there is a comma in the first line. Okay, gada pano daitye.
गदापानौ दैत्ये दममपि हि गृहीतोन्नतगदो नियुद्धेन क्रीडन् गडगडरवोद्गुष्टवियता रणालोकौत्सुक्यान्मिलति सुरसङ्गे द्रदममुं निरुन्त्याः सन्त्यादः प्रथममिति दात्रा जगदिशे. कदापाणौ दैत्ये दममपि हि गृहीतोन्नतगदो नियुद्धेन क्रीडन् गडगडरवोद्गुष्टवियता रणालोकौत्सुक्यान्मिलति सुरसङ्गे द्रदममुं निरुन्त्याः सन्त्यादः प्रथममिति दात्रा जगदिशे.
Sounds are fine. गधोन्मर्धे तस्मिन् तव खलु गदायां दिति भुवो गदाघाताद् भूमौ झटिति पतितायाम् अहह भोः मृदुस्मेरास्यस्त्वं दनुजकुलनिर्मूलनचनं महाचक्रं स्मृत्वा करभुवि दधानो रुरुचिषे. So the battle is continuing, and at one point, Hiranyaksha continues to be like, it appears like Hiranyaksha is leading in that battle. So all these devas and all get very upset, saying, oh my God, I thought Bhagavan had taken incarnation to get rid of Hiranyaksha, but this guy is continuing to be much more powerful and strong. So at that time, the Bhagavan then invokes a Sudarshana Chakra. And then he's standing in front of Hiranyaksha, and then everybody is saying, again, like we said earlier, Hiranyaksha is so blessed because he's seeing this Varaha Bhagavan, he's seeing this lotus-eyed Bhagavan standing with the Sudarshana Chakram, right? So like we said, that's how, although he's been hating the path that he is taking, which is going and seeking after the Lord and getting a guru who's going to send him to the Lord, and then eventually going and standing in front of the Bhagavan, all of that kind of remains consistent, right? Very similar to the other path, the positive path you may take. So similarly, he's coming and standing, and he's seeing this Varaha Bhagavan standing with the Sudarshana Chakram, and he's again going to continue the battle. Gadon marde tasmin. So in Sanskrit, you might have a is, but that becomes a in when you pause there. So Gadon marde tasmin, comma, in. And the is goes away. And if you have a im also on top, both of that goes away and becomes a in, tasmin. Tava khalu gadayam diti bhuvo, comma, gada gatha bhumau, comma, jhatiti patitayam ahaha. I'm just breaking at the ma. Patitayam ahaha bhoho. Mridus meras yastvam, comma, danuja kula nirmula nachanam, mahachakram smritva, karabhuvi dadhano ruruchishe. Gadhonmardhe tasmin tava khalu gadayam diti bhuvo gada gadhat bhumau jhatiti patitayam ahabho mridusmerasyastvam danujakula nirmoolanachanam mahachakram smritva karabhuvi dadhano ruruchishe.
गदोन्मर्दे तस्मिन् स्तव खलु गदायां दितिभुवो गदाघाताद् भूमौ झटिति पतितायाम् अहहो बोहो वर्मा
Boho.
बोहो मृदुस्मेरास्यं यस्त्वं दनुजकुलनिर्मूलनचनं महाचक्रं स्मृत्वा करभुवि दधानो रुरुचिषे गदोन्मध्ये तस्मिन् स्तव खलु गदायां दितिभुवो गदाघाताद् भूमौ झटिति पतितायं महभोः मृदुस्मेरास्यस्त्वं दनुजकुलनिर्मूलनचनं महाचक्रं स्मृत्वा करभुवि दधानो रुरुचिषे
गदोन्मर्ते तस्मिन् तव खलु गदायां तिदिभुवो गदागादाद्भूमौ जडिति पतितायाम् अहबोः मृदुस्मृस्यस्त्वं तनुजकुलनिर्मूलनचनं महाचक्रं स्मृत्वा करभुवि तदानो रुरुषिषे.
Ruruchishe.
உன்னிடத்தை சொல்லுங்க அதை.
And the last word, ruruchishe.
रुरुचिषे.
Yeah.
रुरुचिषे. गदोन्मर्ते तस्मिन् तव खलु कदायां थिदिभुवो गदाकादाद् भूमौ जडिति परिदायाम् अहबोः मृदुस्मृस्यस्त्वं तनुजकुलनिर्मूलनचनं महाचक्रं स्मृत्वा करभुवि तदानो रुरुचिषे.
The third line, first word, mridus meras yastvam.
मृदुस्मेस्यास्यस्त्वं
Mridus
तनुजकुलनिर्मूल.
meras yastvam.
Oh, मृदुस्मेरास्यस्त्वं.
Correct.
मृदुस्मेरास्यस्त्वं तनुजकुलनिर्मूलनचनं.
Stanza 6. Tatashulam kala pratimarushi daitye visrujati त्वयि छिन्दत्येन ते करकलितचक्रप्रहरणात् समारुष्टो मुष्ट्या स खलु विदुधं स्त्वां समतनूत् गलन्माये मायाः त्वयि किल जगन्मोहनकरीः. So then Hiranyaksha, this battle goes on for a long time. So Hiranyaksha gets even more upset. And then what he does is he tries to show all kinds of illusions, like, we've seen in Ramayana also. Ravana does, Vibhishna, Ravana and all of his children, they do a lot of illusions of bringing Sita and slaying Sita's head. They bring all of that. In Krishna Avataram later on, we'll see Samba doing all that, where he brings Devaki in front of Krishna and then as if he's trying to kill Devaki. So all these illusions they do. So here Hiranyaksha is also trying to do all these illusions. But then here Bhattaripat says, you are Jagan Mohanakari, you are the Lord of Maya. How can any of these illusions and Maya work with you? So none of that works with you. And eventually Hiranyaksha then comes to fight with bare hands. So he then comes and then he embraces and trying to hold tight, right? And not letting Varaha escape. So with that, again, all of this he's getting pure more and more. He's coming in contact with Bhagavan and seeing he is getting purified, right? So with that, he's then continuing that battle now with bare hands. Tatash Shulam, Tataha is there, put a ish. Tatash Shulam Kala Pratimarushi Daitye Visrjati, Twayi Chindat Yenat, Kara Kalita chakra praharanat samarushto mushtya, comma, sa khalu bidudamstvam samatanot, comma, galan maye mayaha, that is goes away, visarga, comma, mayaha, त्वयि किल जगन्मोहनकरीः ततः शूलं कालप्रतिमरुषि दैत्ये विसृजति त्वयि छिन्दत्येन ते करकलितचक्रप्रहरणात् समारुष्टो मुष्ट्या स खलु विदुदंस्त्वां समतनोत् गलन्माये मायाः त्वयि किल जगन्मोहनकरीः.
ततः शूलं कालप्रतिमऋषि दैत्ये विसृजति त्वयि छिन्दत्येन करकलितचक्रप्रहरणात् समारुष्टो मुष्ट्या स खलु विदुदंस्त्वां समतनोत् गलन्माये मायाः त्वयि किल जगन्मोहनकरीः ततः शूलं कालप्रतिमऋषि दैत्ये विसृजति त्वयि छिन्दत्येन करकलितचक्रप्रहरणात् समारुष्टो मुष्ट्या स खलु वितुदंस्त्वां समतनोत् गलन्माये मायाः त्वयि किल जगन्मोहनकरीः.
ततः शूलं कालप्रतिमऋषि दैत्ये विसृजति द्वयि चिन्तत्येन ते करकलितचक्रप्रहरणात् समारुष्टो मुष्ट्या सकलु विदुदं स्वां समदनोत् कलन्माये मायाः त्वयि किल जगन्मोहनगरीः.
Ravi, the first line last, in the Visrujati is a short E, okay? So just be careful not to stretch it.
Sir. ततः शूलं कालप्रतिमऋषि दैत्ये विसृजति द्वयि चिन्तत्येन करकलितचक्रप्रहरणात् समारुष्टो मुष्ट्या सकलु विदुदं स्वां समदनोत् कलन्माये मायाः त्वयि किल जगन्मोहनगरीः.
All right, we'll just switch halfway.
Rajesh,
Lakshmi, you can be a student, and Divya, you can be a student.
Rajesh, one question. Sakhalu Vitu or Vidu?
Bitu, first ta. Bitu damstva. Okay. Stanza 7. भवच्चक्रज्योतिष्कणलवनिपातेन विदुते ततो मायाचक्रे विततघनरोषान्धमनसं गरिष्ठाभिर्मुष्टिप्रहृतिभिः अभिघ्नन्तमसुरं कराग्रेण स्वेन श्रवणपदमूले निरवधिः. So there's all these illusions which come, which with the Sudarshana Chakra, the Bhagavan just, all the illusions go away. So finally the time has come. So like we saw, even when Diti was pregnant, so at that time there was darkness everywhere and everything, all these bad omens were coming. And at the time the Devas went in and spoke to Brahma. We saw that in Dasakam 11. So now when Hiranyaksha's death is about to come, again, all this, it's like everything is getting dark. Just a lot of bad omens are happening. At that time, Diti as a mother, she can feel that something is going to happen to her son. If you remember that 11th Dashakam where we spoke about, Diti felt bad later saying that her two children are going to cause havoc all over. But then she was happy later on to realize that the Bhagavan is going to take incarnation to get rid of those two people, which is better than, them going and hurting some more, So at this time, she can feel that the time has come, right? For Hiranyaksha, something is going to be happening to him. So at that time, Bhagavan then takes. So here, this is subtle, just for your understanding. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. So in some books, it says, Swapadangushtena. Okay. And then some books will say Karagrena Swena. The difference is All it says is, so we'll follow that kara again. I'll tell you when we come to that. All it says is with your hand or with your front foot, because it's a boar, right? So it could be standing on 4 feet too. So you could think of it as either with your hand or with the front foot, because the front 2 feet with one of them, right? You then hit Hiranyaksha at the bottom of his ear. Right now, there's a lot of places you might have seen that if you hit at the bottom of the ear, it's very dangerous. People can die with that because there's some nerve point or something there. Anyway, but here, the other subtle variation is the ear is where good qualities, good things are supposed to be heard. So at the bottom of the ear is, kind of hitting that means that all the negative things goes away and he'll become better, right? Anyway, so with that, the Bhagavan then hits Hiranyaksha with his front foot or a hand at the bottom of his ear. Bhavachakra Jyotish Khana Lavanipatena Vidhute. So that whole line is together, comma. Tato Maya Chakre, comma. Vitata Ghana Roshandha Manasam Garishtabhir Mushti Prahriti Bhihi. The R goes away. Prahriti Bihi, Visarga, comma. Next word starts with the A. Abhignantam Asuram, comma. So here, if you have Swapadangushtena, just strike it for consistency. It's Karagrena Swena. Kara refers to the hand. So Karagrena Swena, comma. Shravana Padamule Niravadhihi. भवचक्रज्योतिष्कणलवनिपातेन विदुते ततो मायाचक्रे विततघनरोषान्धमनसं गरिष्ठाभिर्मुष्टिप्रहृतिभिः अभिघ्नन्तमसुरं कराग्रेण स्वेन श्रवणपदमूले निरवधीः.
भवच्चक्रज्योतिष्कनलवनिपातेन विदुते ततो मायाचक्रे विततगणरोषान्तमनसं गरिष्ठाभिर्मुष्टिप्रहृतिभिः अभिघ्नन्दमसुरं करग्रेण स्वेन श्रवणपदमूले निरवधिः. भवच्चक्रज्योतिष्कनलवनिपातेन विदुते ततो मायाचक्रे विततगणरोषान्तमनसं करिष्ठाभिर्मुष्टिप्रहृतिभिः अभिघ्नन्दमसुरं कराग्रेण स्वेन श्रवणपदमूले निरवधिः.
भवचक्रज्योतिष्कनलवनिपातेन विदुते ततो मायाचक्रे विततगणरोषान्तमनसं गरिष्ठाभिमुष्टिप्रकृतिभिः अभिघ्नन्तमसुरं कराग्रेण स्वेन श्रवणपदमूले निरवधिः.
If you have fourth line after Swena, there is a comma, okay?
Okay. भवचक्रज्योतिष्कनलवनिपातेन विदुते ततो मायाचक्रे विततगणरोषान्तमनसं गरिष्ठाभिः मुष्टिप्रकृतिभिः अभिघ्नन्तम् असुरं करग्रेण स्वेन श्रवणपदमूले निरवधिः. श्रवणपदमूले निरवधिः.
And the third line, first word, Garishtabhir Mushti. Okay, there's a ir sound there. Okay.
Sorry, Rajesh, quick question. Karagrenava, Karagrenava.
Karagrena. Kara agrena. Agrena is tip, kara is hand. So with the tip of your hand. So Karagrena Swena. Stanza 8. Mahakaya soyam tava kara saroja pramatito गलद्रक्तो वक्त्रात् अपतदृशिभिश्लाघितहतिः तदा त्वामुद्धाम प्रमदभरविद्योतिहृदय मुनीन्द्राः सान्द्राभिः स्तुतिभिरनुवन्नध्वरतनुम्. Sorry, 1 second. I have to put my laptop to charge. Give me 1 second now. Where my charger went? So when again here the same thing, the kara is different. Some books might have charana pada, which means hitting with the leg. When you hit him with his leg, or with a kara grena, when you hit him with the hand. So at that time, then Hiranyaksha then falls down dead, right? So at this time, Brahma is coming and saying, that, like I said, maybe I don't know if I've told before, but or maybe later, some things it's going to come is the most important thing is at the time of your death, you should think of Bhagavan, which is very, very, very hard. It's not like how easy it is if we think, right? So it says the most important thing it says is Ante Narayana Smritihi. At the very end, when your life is about to go, which you don't know when it's going to happen, you should have the blessings of thinking about Bhagavan or seeing Bhagavan. There are very few people who got that opportunity. One is Bhishma. Bhishma, at the time of his death, he was lying on his deathbed. Krishna came to meet Bhishma along with Yudhishthira, and then Vishnu Sahasranamam, all that happened. And then Bhishma, when he was passing away, he was looking at Bhagavan, Krishna standing Swayam in front of him, and then he passed away, right? So he got liberated. So here, the same thing is happening to Hiranyaksha. When Hiranyaksha is dying, he's looking at Bhagavan in Varaha incarnation and giving up his life, right? He's dying then. So Brahma is coming and saying again, Brahma comes there and he does a small stuti. It says, Hiranyaksha, unfortunately, Jaya is being born as Hiranyaksha. He has to go through these 3 cycles, but these are great devotees, which is why even at the time of their death, they are dying at the hands of Bhagavan, looking at Bhagavan in that form. So they are all blessed, and he has 2 more lives to happen, right? Where the same thing is going to happen, and eventually he's going to get liberated and go to Vaikuntham. So anyway, so with this, Hiranyaksha, his end happens here. Mahakayaha put is Mahakaya soyam, comma, tava. Again, same thing here. If you have charana patha, if you have that, then you can just strike it off. We're going to say kara saroja pramatito. Saroja refers to lotus. With your lotus-like hands. So kara saroja pramatito, comma, galadrakto vaktrat. So the that is there, we're going to break it into a it and a. So vaktrat, comma, apata drishibihi, put a ish, apata drishibhish shlagita hatihi tada tvam uddama pramadabhara vidyoti hridaya, comma, I think some books may have hridayaha, remove the visarga if you have it, vidyoti hridaya, that whole line is continuous. Munindraha, put a is, munindras sandrabihi, comma, Stutibhiranuvan nadvaratanu. So this word, if you want to break it, I'll tell you 2 places you can break it, but you can either say it together or break it that way. Stutibhir, that ra, you can break it as ir and a. Stutibhir anuvan, so the double na that is there, you can break it as a in and a. Stutibhir anuvan adhvara tanum. If you want to break, or you can say the whole thing together as well.
Sorry, Rajesh. Third line, one more time. The tada modala tada tvam.
Yeah. Can you repeat the third line? Yeah, even I missed.
Yeah. Tada tvam uddama pramadabhara vidyoti hridaya. Okay? And
Okay.
you have anything different in your book?
So Tvam and Uddama, the Pirikanama.
If you're no, you can say Twamuddhama. Automatically, even when you're saying it, it is going to break. You cannot like say it together anyway. So Twamuddhama. Yeah. महाकायस्सोऽयं तव करसरोजप्रमथितो गलद्रक्तो वक्त्रात् अपतदृशिभिः श्लाघितहतिः तदा त्वामुद्दाम प्रमदभरविद्योत्तिहृदया मुनीन्द्राः सान्द्राभिः स्तुतिभिरनुवन्नध्वरतनुम्.
Second.
Rajesh,
Oh, go ahead.
in the first line after Karanat, we have Patha Pramatito. Is
And
that
then the Charana Patha, you strike the whole word out.
okay?
And then replace it with Kara Saroja.
Karan, yeah.
Kara Saroja.
Kara Saroja, okay.
Yeah, Pramatito.
Okay, thank you.
महाकायस्सोऽयं तव करसरोजप्रमथितो कलत्रक्तो वक्त्रात् आपत दृशुभिश्लाघितहितिः
Hatihi.
Oh, sorry. हतिः तथा त्वाम् उत्तामप्रमदपरविद्योतिहृदयाः मुनीन्द्राः सान्त्राभिः स्तुतिभिरनुवन्त् अत्वरदनुम्. Correct?
The third, yeah, correct. And the third line, Hridayaha, you can remove that Visarga, Lakshmi.
Oh, Hridayada.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the last one is correct, yeah.
Oh, okay. महाकायस्सोऽयं तव करसरोजप्रमथितो कलत्रक्तो वक्त्रात् अबतदृशिभिः श्लाघितहतिः तथा त्वाम् उत्तामप्रमदपरविद्योतिहृदया मुनीन्द्रा सान्त्राभिः स्तुतिभिः
Break it at the R.
स्तुतिभिर् अदुवन् अत्वर्धनुम्.
Stutibhir anuvan.
स्तुतिभिरनुवन् अध्वरतनुम्.
Yeah.
महाकाया सोऽयं तव करसरोजप्रमथितो गलद्रक्तो वक्त्रात् अपतदृशिभिश्लाघितहतिः तदा त्वाम् उद्धाम प्रमदभरविद्योतिहृदयाच्च मुनीन्द्रसान्द्राभिस्तुतिभिरनुवन् अध्वरतनुम्.
Yeah, Advaratanum. Divya, the fourth line, Sandra Bihi, Visarga and comma there.
Sandra Bihi. महाकाया सोऽयं तव करसरोजप्रमथितो गलद्रक्तो वक्त्रात् अपदऋषिभिश्लाघितहतिः तदा त्वामुद्दाम परमदभरविद्योतिहृदयाः मुनीन्द्रसान्द्राभिः स्तुतिभिरनुवन् Advarathanam.
Yeah, so a couple of things. First line,
it's not coming to me.
No.
Advarathanum.
Advaratanum. Yeah, if you want to break that. First line after soyam, there is a comma, okay, in the first line.
Okay.
And then the third line, Hridayaha, if you have that Visarga, you can remove that Visarga off in the third line. Vidyoti Hridaya.
Okay.
Huh?
Vidyoti Hridaya.
Hridaya, yeah.
Okay.
Stanza 9. Tvachichando romaswapi kushaganaschakshushi ghritam chaturhotarungrau srugapi vadane chodharayida graha jihvayam te parapurusha karne chachamasaha vibho somho viryam varadagadeshe pyupasadaha. The last class I said where the rishis praise. So here the rishis, all the rishis are coming and praising the Bhagavan Varaha describing him, comparing him to a yajna. So we say Yajna Varaha Murti, right? So so each of the parts, what he's saying is Tvachi Chandaha. So you see, the skin of yours is like the Chandas, the Vedic meters, the Chandas of the Vedas. Romaswapi Kushaganaha. The Romam, the hairs which are on Varaha's body are the Kushagana or the Dharba grass, which is done as in the Veda when you're doing the Homam, around the Homa Kundam, you keep the Dharba grass on all four sides. This is your hair is the Dharba grass. Chakshushi Ghritam, the eyes of yours are the ghee, which is actually put into the Homam. Then Chatur Hotar Rongrau. So when in the Homam, when you have the Homa Kundam on four ends, you kind of set like four priests. Not it's like a symbolic thing. At the four corners, you keep four, like there are four priests. Kind of you imagine that. So he says your 4 feet of yours, or Varaha of the boar, are the four corners of the yajnam, representing the four priests who are actually there. Srugapi Vadane, your mouth is the srug. The srug is the ladle which is used to offer the ghee into the homakundam. So Srugapi Vadane, Chodara Idha, your stomach, which is the Ida, is the Udara, is the Ida. Ida is the vessel which is used for keeping the ghee. So you keep a big vessel which is filled with ghee, and then with your mouth, which is the spoon, the ladle for putting the ghee there. Graha jihvayamte. So your tongue is the pot which contains the nectar or the final prasadams, and your karnecha chamasaha. Your ears are all the vessels which keep the other remnants of the the yajna, whatever else offerings are there, prasadams are there, all of that is there. So with this, they praise you, O Varaha, as comparing you to an yajna or whatever is required for a yajna. So Tvachi Chando, comma, Romaswapi Kushaganash Chakshushi Ghritam, comma, Chatur Hotarongrau, comma, Srugapi Vadane Chodara Ida Graha Jihvayamte, comma, Parapurusha Karnecha Chamasaha, comma. In case you don't have a visarga, just add it. Most books have it. Chamasaha, comma. Bibho Somo Viryam, comma. Barada Galadeshe Pyupasadaha. So you cannot break this word. So you have to say the whole word together. Galadeshe Pyupasadaha.
Rajesh. And the chamasaha va chamasaha va.
Chamasaha. Chamasaha is multiple vessels. Okay. So Chamasaha becomes only one vessel there. Tvachichando Romaswapi Kushaganaschkshushi Ghritam Chaturhotaronghrau Srugapi Vadane Chodharayidha Graha Jihvayamte Parapurusha Karne Chachamasaha Vibho Somo Viryam Barada Galadeshe Pyupasadaha.
त्वचिच्छन्दो रोमस्वपि कुशगणशुषिकृतं चतुर्होतारोङ्ग्रौ सृकपिवदने चोतरयिडा गृहा जिह्वायां ते परपुरुषकर्णे च समसाः विभो सोमो वीर्यं वरदकलते Pyupasadha.
The first line, Chakshushi.
Oh, Chakshush. எங்க வருது குணகண சக்ஷுஷியா
Chakshushi.
குஷகண சக்ஷுஷி
Kushaganash Chakshushi.
குஷகணஷ் சக்ஷுஷிக்ருதம் ஓகே त्वचिच्छन्दो रोमस्वपि कुशगणशुक्षिकृतं चतुर्होता रोङ्ग्रौ सृकपिवदने चोदरयिडा गृहा जिह्वायं ते परपुरुषकर्णे च समसाः विभो सोमो वीर्यं वरदकलते शेप्युसदः.
त्वचि चन्दो रोमस्वपि कुशगणश्चक्षुषी घृतं चतुर्होतारोऽङ्ग्रौ सुरगपि वदने चोदारयिदा ग्रहा जीवायन्ते परपुरुषकर्णे च चमसाः विभो सोमो वीर्यं वरदगलदेश्येऽप्युपसदाः.
There are two corrections. The second line, like Srugapi.
Srugapi vadane.
Yeah. And the third line, Jehvayam, half ha. Jehvayam.
Okay. त्वचि चन्दो रोमस्वपि कुशगणश्चक्षुषि घृतं चतुर्होतारोऽङ्ग्रौ सृगपि वदने चोदार इदा इदा ग्रहाजिह्वायं व्यां ते परपुरुषकर्णे च चमसाः विभो सोमो वीर्यं वरदगलदेश्येऽप्युपसदः.
Last stanza. मुनीन्द्रैरित्यादिस्तवनमुखरैर्मोदितमनाः महीयस्या मूर्त्या विमलतरकीर्त्या च विलसन् स्वदृष्ण्यं सम्प्राप्तः सुखरसविहारी मधुरिपो निरुन्ध्यारोगं मे सकलमपि वातालयपते. So with after the rishis praised you, then the Varaha incarnation is over. Like I said, this is like a Leela avataram. Lot of these avatarams just come with a very specific purpose, right? And once the purpose is done, the incarnation is over. So with that, O Bhagavan, you came as Varaha, and then you then eventually went back to Vaikuntham. You just went back. The Varaha incarnation is over. So Guru Arapa, please eradicate all of my ailments and diseases. Munindrair ityadi. I'm just breaking that re for simplicity. So Munindrair ityadi stavana mukharair modita manaha. Add a visarga, you may not have it, comma, manaha. So that line is continuous. Mahiyasya murtya, comma, bimalatara kirtya cha vilasan swadishnyam sampraptaha, comma, Sukha rasa vihari madhuripo, comma, nirundya rogam me sakalamapi vatalaya pate. Last line is continuous.
Rajesh, sorry, the first line breakup in what is long, please.
Munindrair ityadhi stavana mukharair modita manaha.
Okay, thank you.
मुनीन्द्रैरित्यादिस्तवनमुखरैर्मोदितमनाः महीयस्या मूर्त्या विमलतरकीर्त्या च विलसन् स्वदिष्ण्यं सम्प्राप्तः सुखरसविहारी मधुरिपो निरुन्ध्यारोगं मे सकलमपि वातालयपते.
मुनीन्द्रैरित्यादिस्तवनमुखरैर्मुदितमनाः महीयस्या मूर्त्या विमलतरकीर्त्या च विलसन् स्वदिष्ण्यं सम्प्राप्तः सुकरसविहारी मधुरिपो निरुन्ध्या रोगं मे सकलमपि वातालयपते. मुनीन्द्रैर् इत्यादिस्तवनमुखरैर्मोदितमनाः महीयस्या मूर्त्या विमलतरकीर्त्या च विलसन् स्वदिष्ण्यं सम्प्राप्तः सुकरसविहारी मधुरिपो निरुन्ध्यारोगं मे सकलमपि वातालयपते.
मुनीन्द्रैर्त्यादि स्तवनमुखरैर्मोदितमनाः महीयस्या मूर्त्या विमलतरकीर्त्या च विलसन् स्वदिष्ण्यं सम्प्राप्तः सुकर रसविहारे मधुरिपो निरन्द्यारोगं मे सकलमपि वातालयपते मुनीन्द्रे इत्यादि स्तवनमुखैर्मोदितमनाः महीयस्या मूर्त्या विमलतरकीर्त्या च विलसन् स्वदेष्ण्यं सम्प्राप्तः सुकरसविहारे मधुरिपो निरन्द्यारोगं मे सकलमपि वातालयपते.
Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Just to maybe one or two stanzas of 14. Kapilopakyanam. So this is the next incarnation. Not very well known, but a very nice, very amazing content which is there in this. But Bhattripad has shrunk it to like 2 chapters. Where it might go. Sorry, one sec. Yeah, it's shrunk in 2 chapters. And in Bhagavatam, there are like tons of chapters dedicated to Kapilavataram and what happens in that. This for us, it's 2 chapters, 14 and 15. So stanza 1. समनुस्मृततावकाङ्घ्रियुग्मः समनुः पङ्कजसम्भवाङ्गजन्मा निजमन्तरमन्तरायहीनं चरितं ते कथयन् सुखं निनाय. So it first, Dashakam 12 started with that Swayambhuvo Manurato Janasarga Shiro, that Swayambhuva Manu, who's the first Manu, who wanted to create but did not have a place to create. So that 12 and 13 was the Varaha Avatar. Now the earth has been restored, so the earth is there in its orbit. So Swayambhuva Manu is now getting ready for the creation process to start. And then with that, he starts, of course, by always meditating on you and constantly thinking of you, Bhagavan. Samanu Smrita Tavakangri, cannot break that word, Smrita Tavakangri Yugmaha, comma, Samanuhu, put a F, Samanuf Pankaja Sambhavanga Janma. So that Manu who came from Brahma. Nijamantaram Antaraya. You can break at both of those mas if you want. So Nijamantaram Antaraya Hinam, comma, Charitam te kathayan sukham ninaya. Samanusmritatavakangri yugmaha samanuh pankaja sambhavanga janma nijamantaramantaraya hinam charitam te kathayan sukham ninaya.
समनुस्मृततावकाङ्घ्रि युग्मः समनुः पङ्कजसम्भवाङ्गजन्म निजमन्तरम् अन्तराय हीनं चरितं ते कथयन् सुखं निनाय समनुस्मृततावकाङ्घ्रि युग्मः समनुः पङ्कजसम्भवाङ्गजन्म निजमन्तरम् अन्तराय हीनं चरितं ते कथयन् सुखं निनाय.
समनुस्मृततावकाङ्घ्रियुग्मः समनुः पङ्कजसम्भवाङ्गजन्मा निजमन्तरमन्तरायहीनं चरितं ते कथयन् सुखं निनाय. समनुस्मृततावकाङ्घ्रियुग्मः समनुः पङ्कजसम्भवाङ्गजन्मा निजमन्तरमन्तरायहीनं चरितं ते कथयन् सुखं निनाय.
2 and 3 meanings I'll say next class because it kind of goes together, but we'll do the text. Samaye khalu tatra kardamakyo, comma, druhina chaya bhavas tadiya vacha dhrita sarga raso nisarga ramyam, comma, bhagavams twamayutam Samaha, put is samas sisheve. Samaye khalu tatra kardamakyo druhina chaya bhavastadhiya vacha dhrita sargaraso nisargaramyam bhagavam stvamayutam samasisheve.
समये खलु तत्र कर्तमाज्ञो द्रुहिणश्चाय भवस्तदीयवाचा धृतसर्गरसो निसर्गरम्यं भगवंस्तवामयुतं समस्तिषेवा समये.
So on the last line, Bhagavam Stvam Ayutam.
Oh, Bhagavamstavamaयुतं.
No.
Okay.
Bhagavams, up to that is one word.
Oh, sorry.
Bhagavams Tvam Ayutam.
Okay. Bhagavamstvamaयुतं. Okay. समये खलु तत्र कर्तमाज्ञो द्रुहिणश्चाय भवस्तदीयवाचा धृतसर्गरसो निसर्गरम्यं भगवंस्त्वामयुतं समासिषेवा वे
Samasisheve.
समासिषेवे.
समये खलु तत्र कर्दमाख्यो द्रुदीन चाय भवस्तदीयवाच धृतसर्गरसो निसर्गरम्यं भगवंस्त्वामयुतं समाहसिष्वे.
Samasisheve.
समासिष्येवे.
Yeah.
Okay. समये खलु तत्र कर्दमाख्यो द्रुहीनचाय भवस्तदीयवाचा धृतसर्गरसो निसर्गरम्यं भगवंस्त्वामयुतं समाहिसिष्वे.
Samasisheve.
समासिषेवे.
Squeeze one more in. Garudopari Kala Megha Kambram, comma, Vilasat Keli Saroja Pani Padmam Hasito Lasitananam. Cannot break that word. Hasito Lasitananam Vibho Tvam, comma, Bapura Vishkurushe Sma Kardamaya. Just do one time, Lakshmi. Garudopari Kalameghakamram Vilasatkéli Sarojapani Padmam Hasito Lasitananam Vibhotvam Vapuravish Smakardamaya.
ராஜேஷ்
Oh, sorry.
ராஜேஷ் அங்க துவம்க்கு முன்னாடி காமாவா துவம்க்கு அப்புறம் காமா இருக்காங்க.
Tvam kapram kamar. End of that line. Vibhotvam. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
गरुडोपरि कालमेघकर्मं विलसत्केलि सरोजपाणि पद्मं हसितोल्लसिताननं बिभो त्वं वपुराविष्कुरुषे वपुराविष्कुरुषे स्म कर्तमाया.
Yeah. The first line, last word, Megha Kamram.
मेघकम्रं.
गरुडोपरि कालमेघकम्रं विलसत्केलि सरोजपानि पद्मं हसितोल्लसिताननं विभो त्वं वपुराविष्कुरुषे स्म कर्दमाय.
In the class, Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha Sandhanandhavabodhatmakamanupamitam Kaladeshavadibhyam Nirmuktam Nityamuktam Nigamashatasahasrena Nirbhasyamanam Aspashtam Drishtamatre Punarurupurusharthatmakam Brahmatattvam Tattavadbhadi Sakshad Guru Pavanapure Hanta Bhagyam Jananam Kahena Vacha Manasendriyerva Buddhyatmana va Prakrite Swabhavat Karumi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanaayeti Samarpayami. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Rajesh.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Bye.